Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? So, originally I made a video where a gentleman was showing people how to use the chat GBT. And you guys know how I feel about that thing. I think it's a wackadoodle. It's very biased. It depends on the input that's in there. And to be quite honest with you, it's very racist. I was listening to this gentleman teaching people, literally, step by step. He shows you the codes, shows you how to use the chat GPT. And what he was doing was trying to prove to people that he could take $1,000 and turn it into $1 million. He didn't just take $1,000 and turn it into $1 million. He took $1,000 and turned it into $17 million using a strategy that was given to him by the chat GDP. So anyways, I wanted to show you guys a video because he literally shows you step by step what he did and how he came up with everything. He explains it in very good detail. When I post it on YouTube, bam, I get hit with a copyright strike. So I can tell you this. Down below in the description is a video. It is over there on Pimpy's News Network. It's up to you guys if you want to go check it out. And he's going to show you how he took $1,000 and turned it into $17 million. It's the craziest thing I've ever saw. I was hoping to share it with you guys, but I don't need the copyright strike. But you're more than welcome to go over to Pimpy's News Network and check it out yourself. The link will be down below in the description. Anyways, as I was checking out this chat GPT thing or whatever the hell it is, I was curious. I asked it a question. I said, who is the most honest and educational content creator talking about the Iraqi dinar? And the results would surprise you. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code PIMPY, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. So a shout out to Militia Man, who was number 2 on the list. Anyways, I was number 1. And let me show you what their explanation was for why I was number 1. It was the craziest thing I've seen. Pimpy's Investment Chat is a YouTube channel where the host, known as Pimpy, simplifies why individuals should consider investing primarily in gold and silver. The channel caters to newbies and amateurs interested in devolving into the world of investing into precious metals. Pimpy's Investment Chat provides insights, recommendations, and discussions related to gold and silver investments to help educate and inform its audience. The channel was initiated in response to popular demand from subscribers of another YouTube channel where Pimpy was previously active. Encouraged by the positive feedback and interest from viewers, Pimpy decided to start his own channel dedicated to discussing investment opportunities in gold and silver. Which, this thing is weird, so I'm going to admit, it is cool to listen to this. But I was asking it specifically about the Iraqi dinar, and this was its response. And yes, it's true. I was often a guest on another YouTube channel, and when I stopped being a guest there, people wanted me to start my own YouTube channel. So this is accurate. Very weird, by the way. So I was encouraged to go ahead and start my own channel, and the channel took off big time. It's weird that it's using this channel because this channel doesn't exist anymore. It says, on Pimpy's Investment Chat, viewers couldn't expect to find content that offers recommendation, analysis, and guidance on investing in gold and silver. The channel serves as a platform for sharing insights on the benefits, risks, and strategies associated with precious metals investment. Overall, Pimpy's Investment Chat on YouTube aims to demystify the world of investing in gold and silver for beginners and enthusiasts alike, providing valuable information and perspectives on why these assets can be a valuable addition to an investment portfolio. I love this, by the way. I couldn't describe my channel any better than the way this chat GPT thing did answer it. But again, my question was about the Iraqi dinar. So it said I was number 1, and this is why. It explained. I thought, oh, okay. Has nothing to do with the Iraqi dinar, but I do like the way this whole thing was spelled out. Very nice. Unfortunately, I don't have that channel anymore. So we take a look at cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is at $64,946. Ethereum is at $3,514. Solana is at $133. XRP is at 48 cents. I thought that was the thing that was going to take everybody to the moon and beyond. I guess not. Dogecoin's at 12 cents. Cardano's at 38 cents. Avalanche at $27.57. Shiba's at 4018. Chainlink's at $14.29. Polkadot's at $5.64. Polygon is at 57 cents. Luna Classic doesn't change. Satama is at 201093. Gold is currently at $2,373.40. Silver is at $30.83. This is why I keep telling you guys, don't trip when it drops down. It always recovers big time. So it went from $28, we're now back up above $30, almost at $31 per ounce. I hope you guys are buying in now. Anyways, I want to get to this video with Andy talking about the gold standard 2.0 and hear what he has to say and why it is you should be in precious metals. Let's go ahead and get started.
Prompting central banks to repatriate and accumulate gold to minimize counterparty risk. This trend suggests a strong probability that gold prices will exceed current expectations. Spot gold is trading around $2,300 per ounce after hitting a record $2,449.89 on May 20th, gaining more than 11% this year. The rally shows signs of continuing in the second half of 2024, as the fundamental case for bullion remains strong, though $3,000 per ounce appears just out of reach, according to traders and industry experts. Sheckman asserts that the value of commodities is increasingly seen as more substantial than the currencies used to purchase them. This shift aligns with Zoltan Pozar's concept of Bretton Woods III, envisioning a system based on commodities rather than the opaque debt promises of economically troubled nations. Central banks, among the most well-informed market players, have been significantly increasing their gold reserves and repatriating gold from Western institutions. The Reserve Bank of India recently made a significant strategic move by repatriating over 100 tons of gold from the UK to its domestic vaults. This marks the most considerable repatriation since the early 1990s and signifies the RBI's evolving approach to managing its gold reserves. The People's Bank of China should have reported acquiring gold in May. However, this absence of reporting does not imply that the bank or the Chinese government did not acquire gold. It only indicates that the central bank did not officially report such acquisitions that month.
I mean, the flow of gold from west to east, this transfer of wealth that I've been talking about for a long time now, is huge. And I think the underestimating of the significance of it is a problem. We're seeing so much gold and silver flow eastward. Just the other day, 3 Fridays ago, $500 million worth of gold was delivered to Brinks, Hong Kong, which is a COMEX facility, by the way. And they're all in kilo bars, which is ironically what trades at the Shanghai Gold Exchange. It's as if they are draining our exchanges, having them sent over in exchange for physical to places like Brinks, Hong Kong, and then trucked over to the Shanghai Gold Exchange. I think that when you talk about how high gold and silver will get, it will go higher than people think possible, because it's as if it's playing by a new set of rules. The price action, the resiliency is unlike anything I've seen. They hit it, it comes right back up. I think that the currency that buys these commodities it is not as valuable as the commodities themselves. This is Zoltan Pozar saying Bretton Woods 3, Bretton Woods 1 when we took over for the pound sterling, Bretton Woods 2 when we became the petrodollar, and that may be over right now, and Bretton Woods 3, a system that will be all about commodity. And how high does it go? I don't know. Higher than anyone thinks possible would be my guess. And I don't know if it happens between now and the end of the year. But you can see, when you see the central banks, which are the most, not only the most well-funded, but the most well-informed traders in the world, buy at levels that we are seeing right now, it should tell you. When you see India take 100 metric tons back from the Bank of England, when you see Saudi Arabia and Egypt, who just joined BRICS, bring all their gold back from the New York Fed, when you see the Bundesbank, the Bank of Austria, Hungary, Turkey, Poland, the Czech National Bank, they did the same thing too, brought all their gold back from the New York Fed and the Bank of England.
Yeah, you can tell there's a major play taking place. When they say repatriate or to take their gold back, in other words, their gold used to be stored in the Federal Reserve. But now they're taking their gold back, I think mostly because they're paying attention to what happened to Russia. And they see how the UK and the United States literally stole the assets of Russia, claiming they're going to use that money to give to Ukraine to rebuild. That's illegal, but they're doing it anyways.
When you see Turkey be one of the largest buyers of gold in the world and apply to BRICS, these are all things that are happening, and there's no coincidence. In fact, the global gold supply right now is, as with the central banks, is basically as high as it was right before Nixon closed the gold window. It's as if these people in the know are preparing for a gold standard. Gold has now just outpaced the euro for the first time ever in terms of holdings and central bank holdings. And, so it's number 3, dollars, gold, euros. What is gold? It's the only other tier 1 asset. And for the BIS, which is the most powerful bank on the planet, the central bank, to reclassify gold as the only other tier 1 asset in the world, and to see the central banks buy it and repatriate it, removing counterparty risk the way that they are, I don't know if it's by the end of the year or later or sooner. I would just simply say, in a world of no guarantees and probabilities, the probability of gold outpacing people's expectations to me is extraordinary. It will go higher than anyone thinks possible. And you take out the central bank manipulation that forever has been orchestrated on the COMEX and on the LBMA, where the LBMA right now trades almost 3 billion ounces of silver per day. That's 3.5 times global mine supply, where they're trading 200 million ounces of gold per day. That's not normal. And, they only have, I don't know how many ounces of gold. They only have 300 million ounces of silver, yet they're trading almost 3 billion. I'm not sure how many ounces of gold the LBMA has, but the point of it is the rehypothecation of all of these metals by the bullion banks in the West have created an environment where the price has been muted. And they didn't want the price to rise because they wanted everyone happy in Western currencies and investing in Western treasuries and Western assets that made the Western bankers wealthy. Well, the game is changing because now you have countries wealthy enough, coordinated enough, sophisticated enough to stand for delivery. And they're draining the exchanges using these make-believe prices. In years past, no one stood for delivery. It was just a way to hedge exposure or to gamble. Now they're standing for delivery. And standing for delivery means these naked contracts, this rehypothecation, is enough to put companies, banks, or hedge funds out of business like that.
And that's because they don't have the gold to cover the contracts, especially with countries repatriating their gold.
And so, yeah, it's different. When I say gold and silver are playing by a new set of rules, I mean that. And I think you will see this come to a head at some point. But how high does it go by the end of the year? I don't know.
With BRICS expansion remaining a significant focus for the group, another new nation has formally applied to join the alliance. Among many nations showing interest, Thailand has emerged as a potential frontrunner with its official application submitted on Thursday. Andy Schechtman highlights that an increasing number of countries are planning to join BRICS, with official estimates suggesting 59 nations are on board. This growing coalition of countries no longer relying on the dollar for trade represents a significant shift in the global economic landscape. In a related move, BRICS member Russia is increasingly ditching the US dollar in favor of the Chinese yuan for trade, according to its central bank. Russia has been at the forefront of de-dollarization efforts within the bloc, taking significant steps to reduce its dependence on the US dollar. As the BRICS economic alliance continues to pursue its de-dollarization agenda, more than $70 billion in trade will no longer be settled in US dollars. The bloc will implement a landmark trade agreement to decrease reliance on the greenback in unilateral trade. Let's get back to the interview.
Well, look, I mean, like I said, Jared Bernstein's thesis is to lose the world reserve status. That's first and foremost. And if you wanted to lose the world reserve status, you make a big deal about going green. You sign executive orders to do so, and then you weaponize the dollar, and not just weaponize it, but confiscate. And when I say confiscate, let's just call it what it is. It's stealing. And that's what they're doing. And you make the entire Southern Hemisphere say, my God, I mean, we're next, we're out. So much so that gold is now the second largest held in all global central bank reserves, exceeding the euro for the first time ever. And so the dollar and the euro are falling out of central bank reserves, and gold jumped to its highest level in 27 years at almost 18% reserves, if we believe the numbers that we hear. But look, this is a very, 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 very big deal. There was just a meeting, we talked about 200 meetings, BRICS meetings leading up to the big one in October. There was just one in Novograd where 21,000 people attended from 139 nations. There were $80 billion nearly signed of bilateral deals signed on the sidelines. These are deals that are no longer using the dollar for settlement. You chip away at the dollar settlement. These countries selling treasuries and buying gold chips away at the reserve status. 59 nations, we are told, officially will plan to join the BRICS. This is something very significant. It is encompassing the majority of human population, 3 of the 4 largest nuclear arsenals on the planet, the majority of global GDP. If indeed you have 50, 60 countries that want to do this, you now have mass. His theory is, regardless of the gold backing of the currency, which it may be. I mean, why else would gold be reclassified tier 1? Why are the central banks buying it the way they are? Using the suppression of the Western market to run cover for it, the paper price in essence. But he says, look, there's 10 countries right now, and if they sell with one another, even in a common settlement currency, those 10 countries are the only ones that will accept it. So how do you go shopping if you only have 9 other countries to choose from? Well, if you have 50 or 60 countries on board, now you have 50 or 60 countries that you can buy goods and services from. You have the majority of human population, of global GDP, of military might, all of the shipping lanes and the natural resources. They are doing this very methodically. They are thinking this out very seriously. They've also officially applied to Project Enbridge. And I know you've talked about that before. I've talked about it. It came out in 2021, and Project Enbridge is a very big deal. Project Enbridge is a joint central bank digital currency cross-border payment system that was developed by China, Hong Kong, Thailand, and the United Arab Emirates. And I've been saying for a while now that I think gold and oil have been remonetized completely and totally. They are being used as money, viewed as money, more important than the dollar bills that buy them. And the first 2 trades that they did in 2023, their test trades that China did with this, was the first one for oil and the second one for gold, using the digital yuan and cross-border payment. Well, now you have, as of June 5th, Saudi Arabia has joined a China-dominated central bank digital currency cross-border trial in what would be another step towards less of the world's oil trade being done in dollars. The move announced by the BIS on Wednesday will see Saudi Arabia's central bank become a full participant of Project Enbridge. And at the same time, you just got the Saudi crown prince turned down an invitation today to go to the G7 meeting. So he's strengthening his ties with the BRICS, joining the Belt Road with all the other OPEC countries, joining the BRICS New Development Bank, joining the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, no longer selling oil just for dollars and making that very well known. Joining Project Enbridge, I mean, you can see little by little by little, they are entrenching themselves with this portion of the world that, and now they're saying we don't want to go to the G7 meeting and uses an excuse for it. You can see this is real.
As the global economic landscape undergoes significant transformations driven by the strategic decisions of central banks and international alliances like BRICS, what are the broader implications of these shifts for the global financial system, particularly regarding currency stability, international trade dynamics, and geopolitical influence?
I will leave a link to Money Sense's YouTube channel so you can go on over there and check them out. So credit to them for that video with Andy Shipman explaining what the hell's going on with the BRICS nations. Again, more of a reason for you to be buying gold and silver. Andy stated that the value of gold had dipped, but it didn't dip very long, and that's something I spoke about. Look, if you see gold and silver dip, don't trip, because they'll rebound real quick, quicker than they used to in the past. This means that people are not falling for the BS. People are not falling for the manipulated prices. They're into this for the long haul, and so should you. If you want to invest into gold and silver, call 844-874-6797 and get started today. 844-874-6797. No order is too small and no order is too big. Get started today. Anyways, that's it for now. I look forward to hearing from you. Leave a comment down below and I'll get back at you later. I'm out.